Okay, abusia for me church bi asa mo bibia kwa ba edeba enkasa TV enkasa kase eboso na edusu sisi a meso se ne de di kan utimi na so hwe me meso so obe subscribe obe share na chese wode wadwen chesu begu comment section kama kama wishim ni akinkan bibia mo fefefe ye bebo re nsi mu tentem ya na enyoma bi bubo fi Ghana yɛ mpanyinfoɔ no bi a kyerɛ sɛ wɔn pɛ sɛ wɔn bɔ ɔman no aborɔ kyerɛ sɛ nnwoma a wɔn di kyerɛ sɛ abusuafoɔ ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa koraa owura bi di nsɛm bi aba abɛto abɔnten kyerɛ sɛ abusuafoɔ mɛsɛ so ka me ho nkotie nsɛm no mu nkyɛmu na yɛba abɛto aso mede obi bi ase mɛsɛ so wode w'adwene kyerɛ so bɛgu comment section ne akenkan biribi ama m hyɛ ɛma wadɔ foforɔ bi a so wɔn nsa nka video yi na wɔn ho deɛ ɛkɔ so wɔ ɔman Ghana mu ase mede obi bi ase.
What is quite unnerving or maybe creating anxiety, if this trial had been on television, I think it would have been very good. For the public interest, it would have been super good. Because the kinds of things... Now, some of the people are sending me texts that Samuel Jemfi, the National Propaganda Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, has refused to hold a press conference, his regular press conference after the Jakpa trial. Because sometime 2 weeks ago, every time after the Jakpa trial, Samuel Jemfi will hold a press conference. And in fact, the NDC party, led by Johnson Asiedu Ketia, the General Secretary, also had a press conference about the trial in which they played a tape. So one is wondering, and if you know, please ask them. We are waiting for the press conference that usually concludes the trial on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't know whether Samuel Jemfi was in court. Let's check with the reporter. Was Samuel Jemfi in court? Let's find out. But it was quite interesting. Very, very interesting and somewhat serious. The kinds of things Mr. Jakpa said. So here's our depiction of Afia Sewa's court. Forgive us if there's the depiction is not complimentary, but I think that the graphic designer did a very good job. Just this afternoon, putting this together, it's quite good, isn't it? There's a lot of talent in Ghana among young people. Plenty of talent. Look at this. It's quite nice, isn't it? And then issue on alleged misconduct of the AG in forcing Jakpa to testify. That's where a lot of issues came up at that side. And then the third one, the attack on ßreak and the late ßreak. I mean, Richard Jakpa, I don't know whether he's insensitive to culture. ßreak has passed to eternal glory, former Minister of State who served Ghana well for many, many years. And then you sit in court and say she's evil. Evil. Use the word evil for ßreak, the former finance minister, the same ßreak who testified for him. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get to part 3. Let's categorize it properly. So part 1, admission of evidence. That was the first shocker. Those of you who have been following social media, our Facebook page, we were so surprised that sometime about 1 o'clock we put it up. Richard Jakpa has tendered tapes to the court. He has. Text messages. He had exchanged text messages with the Attorney General. He intended to submit the text messages to the court to suggest that and build a case against the Attorney General, that Attorney General had used underhand dealings to prosecute, and therefore the whole system, the courts should agree on a mistrial and then get him off. He doesn't want to be prosecuted, etc., etc. In doing so, he submits text messages to show that this is his case. The court then asked him that the text message you submitted is not the entire text messages between the Attorney General, as we discussed on Tuesday. He said, well, I submitted what I want to use to do my case. You can also submit. Attorney General attempted to submit on Tuesday. The lawyers said that it is not in color. The judge said it doesn't matter. And then they said they wanted to study it. The judge said you can study it. So today they came to court having studied it, and they raised objection. And they will not allow the Attorney General to tender the rest of the text messages. I've never seen something like that before. A set of text messages exchanged between two people. 68 text messages exchanged. Jakpa tenders 14, representing 25%. And the Attorney General says, okay, no problem. I'm happy to tender the rest of the 75%, including what you have already tendered. It will still be in my own. So I'm tendering to the court 100%, which includes the 25% that you already have. And Jakpa admits that, yes, there were several text messages between me and Attorney General, but most of it was motivational message. Every morning I sent to him, God bless you, and don't worry about your enemies. You go forward and soar like an eagle, and those things, Psalm 91 and Psalm 134 and something like that. That's what he said. That he's been sending the text message to the Attorney General. He's been sending motivational messages to the Attorney General. As we go on in this narration, you will see him describe himself with having some spiritual power. So I'm not so sure what kind of motivational messages he was sending, but you'll see that. And then the court said, okay, no problem. Whether it's motivational messages or not, we understand. But you accept that the text message that you sent was short of the whole? He said, yes, it was. Okay. Attorney General says, here is the lawyers for Jakpa says, we don't like it. You cannot tender the whole. I don't understand it. The lawyers for Jakpa says they will not allow the Attorney General to tender the rest of the text messages. That is what Adiosori told the court today. He will not allow it. He is objecting to it. Text message that you have tendered some. I am bringing the rest. They said, no, they won't allow it. Viewers. Well, the judge is here to determine. But in any case, thank God, the judge overruled them. And so the text messages were admitted. That's the first thing that surprised people today. So the text messages were admitted. It says the court admitted the tapes into evidence, the text into evidence because they were relevant and had no issue of authenticity. That is to say, there was no authenticity problem. On the backdrop of the fact that Jakpa admitted that he did not tender all the evidence. This is the basis on which the court overruled the objection that was raised by lawyers for Adiosori. We don't lawyers for Francis Jakpa Adiosori. We don't know whether they intend to repeat this application in the Court of Appeal, where they could go and say that the trial judge erred in admitting the rest of the text messages and therefore the appeal against. Let's wait and see what happens. But they were overruled on this one. So the messages have been admitted into evidence on the basis that they were relevant and that they have no problem with authenticity because the court has looked at it and look, it seems authentic. And it is on the backdrop that Jakpa himself has tendered part of what you are saying you will not allow. And the part that you say you will not allow, Jakpa also has evidence of it. So why wouldn't you allow it? Viewers, are we understanding, are we getting to the meat of the matter? The people don't want the text. They have tendered some. This is the rest of it. The rest of it is on their phone as well. They can easily say, no, this one was not part of it. That is why they were given 48 hours to study it. It was given to them on Tuesday. Study it because your client Jakpa has it on his phone. So take the printout and check with Jakpa's phone. Did he say, hey, how are you? I like your red tie. I like your red tie. How are you? How are you? Is the traffic bad? Is the traffic bad? You can just compare and look at it and see that this is authentic one. They were given 48 hours to do that. They were not able to come to court to say that, hey, this word has been omitted from this one. They were not able to say that. Just that they will not allow the document to be tendered. They were overruled. So that has gone into the evidence. We'll see what weight will be put on it and then we can move on. All right. Then the next one. Whether the AG forced Jakpa to testify, etc., etc. Okay. So Francis Richard Jakpa told the court that he sent documents to the Attorney General by phone when they met in Justice Kulendi's house. And that it is these documents that Attorney General was using to prosecute him. So today he came into the witness box. And then the Director for Public Prosecutions was with him. And Director of Public Prosecutions said that, Mr. Jakpa, you have told this court that you sent documents to the Attorney General and it is these documents that are being used to prosecute you. He said, yes, I said that. It's true. He said, okay, take a look at these documents. So he looked at them. Are these the documents? He said, yes. Then the DPP told him that, I'm suggesting to you that these documents were filed on the 29th of March. Were filed on the 16th of March. And then your conversation, your sending to the Attorney General was on the 29th of March. So by the time that you were sending it to the Attorney General, it had already been filed in court. Then he was there. He was in the witness box. You said you sent these documents, and it's these documents that have been used. Okay, the dates show that whilst your allegation claimed on 29th of March, the Attorney General